Hello guys, on the 25th of March 2023, this 13-year-old girl was found raped along with her four friends who were on a sleepover in one of their friends' house. She was the only one who was killed after the gang rape. So guys, before I continue, please like and follow for more true crime stories like these. And please do not forget to click the YouTube link at the comment section to watch the full in-depth view of this crime story and also to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let's get into this crime story. 13-year-old thimna kuze was a young South African girl who had her whole life in front of her. She lived inside Fort Capetown with her grandmother and her other siblings. Her brother described her as a humble person who always loved dancing and laughing. Her grandmother described her as a peaceful, always loving person who always liked taking care of others. It was on the 24th of March 2023 when 13-year-old thimna kuze was in the house with her grandmother. Then four of her friends came over begging her grandmother to let her go to one of the four of her friends' place for a sleepover. According to her grandmother, she said no because she never allows thimna and any of her siblings to do sleepovers. But four of her friends kept begging her to let thimna go over for the sleepover. But she kept on saying no. But she later on agreed, according to her confession. She later on agreed because she knew four of the friends and they always come over to play with thimna. So she accepted that thimna should go over for the sleepover. But before 8 o'clock in the morning, she should be back at home to do her laundry. So around 10 p.m. on the 24th of March 2023, thimna and her four friends left for the sleepover. While at the house where the sleepover was taking place, four of our friends met the uncle of the friend who was hosting the sleepover. And their friend's uncle was with four of his friends, also drinking alcoholic drinks. So Thimna's grandmother, Nonile, woke up around 6 a.m. in the morning waiting for Thimna to come so that she can start doing her laundry. She waited right up to 8 a.m. on the 25th of March 2023, but Thimna had not arrived. So she told Thimna's brother, Sika, to tell Thimna to leave there immediately and come home and start doing her laundry. Thimna's brother Sika called Thimna, but her phone wasn't going through. So he continued calling Thimna's friend, who was a member of the sleepover, but she wasn't picking her phone. So he called her grandmother and explained things to her grandmother that Thimna's phone is not going through, and he has called Thimna's friend, who was a member of the sleepover, and she isn't picking her phone. According to Thimna's grandmother's confession, Nonile, she said she started panicking immediately she heard the news that her daughter's phone wasn't going through, and her friend whom she was with the sleepover wasn't picking her call. So she called Nokotula. Nokotula is the mother of one of the friends who were at the sleepover. She called her daughter and she inquired about Thimna's whereabouts. And her daughter said Thimna is on her way coming to her grandmother's place. So she immediately told Thimna's grandmother that Thimna is on her way, not knowing that Thimna is dead. Few moments later, two men came over to her place, telling her that Thimna, her granddaughter, is dead. She was in shock and immediately started crying, according to her confession. So she went immediately at the house of the sleepover, and she entered the room where Thimna was found dead. She was laying on the bed, with her face facing the bed, and her left hand on her back, while her right hand was on her chest. Blood was found on her private parts. There was blood coming out of her nose, and there was blood coming out of her mouth. She immediately started asking questions what went wrong that her granddaughter died. And four of the other girls said that when they came over for the sleepover, they met the host friend's uncle, who was with his own friends. They were drinking an alcoholic drink. So they gave four of the girls the alcoholic drinks for them to drink. And they drank, all four of them drank, except the host girl, whose house they were on a sleepover. All three of them said, except Thimna, who was dead, that immediately they drank the drink. They went over to the room and started sleeping with the host friend of the sleepover. One of them said when she woke up in the morning to go pee, she found her underwear on her knees. But when she slept at night, her underwear was well put on her private part and on her waist. While another said she woke up in the morning and she found her jean trousers down at her knee level with her underwear underneath her jean trousers. When they all woke up in around 3 a.m. in the morning, they found out that Thimna wasn't on the bed with them. So they immediately started looking for Thimna. They went and found Thimna in another room, of which when they started sleeping all together, they were all sleeping together, all five of them, including the host girl of the sleepover. In a different room, they touched her. They found out that she was so cold, so they immediately put on the heater and wrapped her with the blanket. But they discovered that she wasn't moving an inch, so they started shaking her, Thimna, 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 but she wasn't waking up. They realized that she's dead. Discovered that they found blood coming out of her private part, blood coming out of her nostrils, and blood coming out from her mouth. So they started questioning the uncle that what did you put in the drink? Because when we all woke up, we found out that our underwears were not well worn when we were sleeping. The uncle refused that him and his friends did nothing to Thimna and her friends. So they immediately called for neighbors. And while they were calling for neighbors, the uncle fled away. The uncle said him and his friends never gave Thimna the alcoholic drinks. They were the ones who drank the alcoholic drink. So an autopsy had been carried out on the dead body of Thimna, and it was discovered that she was strangled and raped by that uncle and her friends. So this is crazy. The uncle right now is at large, and his friends too are at large. Guys, this is crazy. Like, this is crazy. I'd like to get your thoughts of what you think about this crime case down at the comment section. I'll go first with my analogy. So this is crazy. Like, the femicide rate in South Africa is so high. Gender-based violence in South Africa is so high. South Africa ranks number 1 in Africa and number 3 in the whole world when it comes to femicide or gender-based violence. It's crazy. Like, how can an uncle with his friends, take advantage of teenagers? This is a 13-year-old girl, meaning all of our friends were within the range of 13 and 14 years. These are young girls. These are the future of the society. This is a young girl who had her whole life in front of her. She was raped. She and her friends were raped, and she was the one who was killed by this uncle and 4 of her friends. This is so sickening. Like, what will possess an uncle who is close to like 40 years to have sex with an underage girl and to feel good about it, that he's really satisfied? This is crazy. This is not normal. This is not normal. And I think in such cases, the death penalty should be upheld, because this is a case of pedophilia. This is rape. This is a case of pedophilia because these kids are 13 years of age, and this uncle might be 40, 45 years of age with his friends. This is clearly a case of pedophilia. This is a case of rape. This is a case of taking advantage of underage kids who were at a sleepover in one of their friends' house, having fun, enjoying themselves. And you gave them, a poison drink which caused them to sleep unconsciously. Then you took advantage of them with your friends and badly raped them, up to the extent all 3 of them had blood coming out of their vaginas. Then you proceeded to kill 1 of the 4. Then your own niece, you didn't rape your niece, you left your niece, who was the host of the sleepover. I don't want to say the niece had something to do with it. The host, the girl, the friend who was the host of the sleepover, I don't want to say she had something to do with it, but I just want to say she is innocent in all of this, because she's a teen, she's 13 years of age. But this is crazy. I think the death penalty should be upheld here. There's been 4 life sentences, that's 40 years imprisonment. As per South African judiciary, that is what they always do. They always give you 3 life sentences, 30 years imprisonment, 4 life sentences, 40 years imprisonment. That is all nonsense. This man has killed, an innocent child, an innocent 13-year-old who had her entire life in front of her, who was such a wonderful human being, who had nothing evil to do, who did nothing evil against him, who had nothing bad to say against him. And this man took advantage of the fact that this girl is young and innocent, raped her and killed her. So this man, I think the death penalty should be upheld here. He should be killed. And it should be done publicly for all future rapists in South Africa to see that this is what you get when you mess up like this. This is the consequences when you messed up big time like this by raping underage girls or raping any woman, then proceeding to kill that woman. So guys, these are my thoughts. Please subscribe, and like and share this video. I'd like to get your thoughts of what you think down at the comment section about this crime case.